Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Ghost here, and today I am bringing you guys another comparison video between the Krig and AMAX. And I wanted to make this video because ever since they updated the Cold War AR's barrels and the AC suppressor reversion that in turn actually make them better, Cold War weapons have become a lot more viable. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of videos about like the AK-47 becoming more viable, the XM4 becoming more viable. And in my last video, if you guys saw, was the Krig. I mentioned that that's one of the weapons that I felt was a little underrated. But, we're going to get into that shortly. With that being said, though, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 2K. We just hit 1.51K. So we're getting just closer to that 2K mark. And, if you could help a brother out and hit that subscribe button, that'd be very, very appreciated. Also, if you guys would do me a favor and check out my Twitch channel, always Ghost _. We be streaming over there pretty much daily, and the vibes be somewhat high. I don't know, right now Warzone's a little weird, so I can't even lie. That kind of affects my attitude, because Warzone to me right now is it's in a weird state right now, but whatever. But anyways, with that being said, let's get into the comparison. And here we have the recoil pattern for the Krig. Nothing too crazy, a very simple recoil pattern, and in turn, when you're in game, the recoil is very minimal. There's something though that I recently just came to a conclusion, or I kind of have like a theory. It's probably already been debunked or already been proved or whatnot, but one of the things that I've had problems with Cold War AR specifically is when I put my crosshair on somebody. When I aim it specifically with this sight, division 3 times or whatever, half the time it feels like, although my reticle is on the person, it really feels like half my shots don't register or don't hit. Like, it feels like I almost have bloom. If you guys aren't familiar with the bloom, man, like, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but if you're from Fortnite, you know what bloom is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. It deadass felt like I had bloom on these guns, which is kind of weird to say, but it did. And I know that's not really the case. It could have been my accuracy because, I'm not some perfect sniper, but I'm very confident in my accuracy. And to have half my shots feel like they don't register, I don't know. It had me feeling some type of way. But I've come to the conclusion, or I guess at least for now, the reason why it feels like that is because of the 3-time scope animation. Like, it doesn't sit still. Like, it has kind of like this bobbling effect. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know if it's like left or right, up or down. Like, it has this bobbling effect though. It doesn't really stand still, and it's like, I think that kind of makes it so the accuracy kind of goes down a little bit. I'm not so sure how that works, but visually I might have less accuracy because of that little animation, but I'm not sure. But I have heard that there's a site, the Suzat or something like that, multi-zoom, that visually, it doesn't give you less recoil, but it visually gives you less recoil. And to me, things like that are very important. And if I can make a gun like this seem a lot more accurate, man, it's gonna be even better. I did not get a chance to test it out, but I'm pretty sure there's more people out there that have tested it out and can truly give you an answer. But for me, I cannot. I'm about to test it out myself, and I cannot wait to actually try it out. And hopefully, if it truly makes my gun a lot more accurate and makes it feel like I'm more, I don't know, like it makes it have less instances of me feeling like half my shots didn't register, then I'm gonna be using the Krig a lot more. So I really like this Krig. At one point, when it first came out, I felt like it could have been like a Growl 2.0. That was a little bit of a stretch, mostly because, the Growl is kind of its own thing, and the Krig doesn't, it doesn't have, the no recoil aspect. It has a little bit of recoil, but maybe with the sight, But even then, the range, it always going to come down to the range, where the range will always still, never be there. Unless they maybe buff the barrels again, I don't think the range will ever be there, because it's been a while, and I feel like the range on Cold War ARs are still a little whack, or at least the damage output at certain ranges feels a little whack. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. I still believe that Cold War ARs aren't deep threat ARs. Like an AMAX could beam someone really far away, or at least put some damage on them, but I don't feel like any Cold War ARs can do the same. I don't know. But anyways, I will say that the Krig has a little bit more better accuracy than the AMAX. The AMAX is one of those weapons that's kind of difficult to control, kinda. I mean, if you get, with the groove, which I wouldn't say is completely hard to, but if you get in the groove with your AMAX, you could very, minimize the recoil to, to how you can, to your own full potential. But with the Krig, it's a lot easier to control. The damage is pretty solid, the mobility is pretty solid, and I really got nothing bad to say about the Krig. So with that being said, let's get into the AMAX. And here we have the recoil pattern for the AMAX. As you guys can see, a complete difference from the Krig. A lot more, recoil action going on. And in game, it's one of those weapons where you kind of have to fight the control, but if you can get it down, you got it down. For one, I want to mention, as you guys can see, again, my class setup for the AMAX actually changed. I'm one of those guys that every other week, I swear, I have a different class setup for my weapons. Like 1 week, you look at my comparison video and I have a certain attachment on this gun, and then, the next comparison you see of that same gun has a different class setup. It's weird. If you guys recall, for my AMAX, I used to rock the Operator foregrip. I decided to try out the Ranger, and it turns out I liked it a lot more. From what I've noticed, and probably statistically the same, the Ranger aims in a lot faster, and it still feels really good in terms of controller recoil. I don't know, so I'll fuck with the Ranger now. I always have my doubts about the Ranger, but now I really mess with it. Hell, maybe in 2 weeks from now, I'm back to the Commando or Merc. Those are still pretty great underbarrels, but right now I'm just messing with the Ranger. Everyone's gonna have their own personal preference when it comes to attachments. For me right now, it's the Ranger. It's a good class setup, you can't go wrong with it, but if it's not for you, there's other options out there. Now this AMX right here, man, this is literally, you guys heard this tale multiple times. This gun has been kind of, I wouldn't even say Mr. Reliable since day one, because when it first came out, there was a lot of hate toward, not a lot of hate, but a lot of skepticism. I remember this thing being called the AK's little brother. That's still so disrespectful to me to this day, bro. So I remember, man, when I first did the comparison between the AK and AMAX back when it first came out, I remember at that time people were calling it the AMAX the AK's little brother. That shit is so disrespectful, bro. The AK is not a bad weapon, though. Like, don't get me wrong. But, it's AMAX, This AMAX is, it's something special. And going back to the recoil, I know, one of the distinctive, factors of an AMAX is its recoil and how crazy it can get. But if you can control it right, it's good. And I know I keep mentioning this, but I had a viewer or a subscriber or just someone who watched my video comment that to them, this was in a comparison between the AMAX and Growl. They were like, the Growl is a lot better for console in terms of recoil control, and then the AMAX is better for PC. Which is, I agree with that statement. I know it seems a little bit irrelevant in this because, we're not talking about the Growl. But, the Krig does have limited recoil or minimum recoil compared to this AMAX. And I guess in the sense, on console, it's a lot easier to control, a lot better. And then for the AMAX, on console, it's a little bit harder because, that requires a little bit more controller skill. And some people just don't have that. Or the analog control, some people just don't have that. On PC, you put on affected FOV and everything seems like a beamer. Visually it looks like you have no recoil. Basically the no recoil setting. Trust me, it's a thing. I know it's not completely no recoil. It just visually makes it so you have no recoil. Making guns like the AMAX very powerful because it doesn't look like it has recoil. But it's still there. It just, to you, it seems like it's a beam. But, for us console players, we don't have that. So Krig wise, it's a lot easier to control. But the AMAX, I'll be honest with you, the AMAX isn't even that hard. And again, one of the best things I loved about the AMAX, and I mention this every time, you don't even have to be that accurate for the AMAX because you're gonna get bailed out by the damage. The damage is such a bailout for the AMAX that I could literally shoot my whole clip, miss 90% of my shots, but I'm still gonna kill the guy because of the 10% shots I hit. Because that's just how good it is. And I have no problem with that because guns like these don't bother me because in theory, you could say it's an overpowered weapon, but it balances out because not anyone could just pick it up. I feel like the AMAX is kind of hit or miss, especially in right now's meta with the AMAX, the AUG and M16. A lot of people are preferring those guns right now, but there's still a lot of other people who love the AMAX, including myself. I like the AUG, but I don't know, man. That's a little weird to me. And it's kind of ironic because I love burst. And I love the burst meta. And I like the whole idea of it. I can't lie. The AUGs do get a little bit ridiculous. But, you know what I'm saying? I mess with it. But the AMX just feels a lot more comfortable to me. Which is something I never thought I'd say. But it does. But that's just hit or miss, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Some people do not feel the same way. Some people do not feel comfortable with this gun at all. Some people regret or dread using this gun. Other people love using this gun. I don't know. Like, this is definitely one of those guns. Nothing like a DMR, nothing like any other no skill weapons. I think that's why it never truly became meta. You know what I'm saying? Like, it never became to the status of a Kilo, a Bruin, a DMR, any other meta, Growl. It never became that status because it was never easy to, like, truly that easy to use. Man, I don't know what I'm saying at this point, man. I'm sorry for going on that little tangent right there. But anyways, man, let me know what you guys think about this content. Do you guys think that the Krig can compete with the AMAX or be considered a top tier weapon along with the AMAX? Personally, I say yes. But in this situation, technically, I guess I'm at the... Honestly, I can't even pick one over the other. I love both these weapons. I'm very comfortable with both these weapons. Let me know what your thoughts on both these weapons are. And yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later, and I'm out. Peace.